I'm trying to do this in front of the Christmas tree, and it's been a nightmare trying to get the lighting to not look crazy. Hello book friends, it's Alyssa. Welcome back to the channel. Hello if you are new. I feel like this is a really awkward angle, but I wanted to show the Christmas tree, and so here we are. The new year is upon us. We have a cup of tea. I have some goals and such things that we usually talk about at this time of the year to go through with you all, and we're gonna talk about them. I would love to do this upstairs where I normally do things, but somebody is sleeping, so I can't. So anyway, I think that we should talk a little bit about some things from this past year that I really enjoyed. Bonnie has a toy, so you're gonna hear the dogs. Just go with it, okay? Thank you. Cool. This year has been a very interesting year. I think personally I've had a lot of challenges in different arenas of my life, but the channel has done really well, I think, for what I expect from it. We hit 3,000 subscribers, which is crazy to me, and it keeps growing. I did my first year-long reading project this year and loved it, and we're doing another one next year with Edith Wharton. We read Jane Austen this year. We're going to do Edith Wharton in 2025. I started a book journal for the first time in a while and really stuck to it for the most part, and I really enjoyed that exercise, and we're going to see that going forward as well. And of course, the big addition to everything that I've been doing here online is I have a newsletter now. So, you can find that in the description, but I've really been enjoying having this weekly check-in with everybody and having a different way of speaking about books and just about other things. It allows more flexibility for me to talk about different stuff. The YouTube algorithm can really narrow your focus down. And if you want to actually see some growth, you kind of have to stick to an arena on YouTube. So it's nice to have my little Substack where I can kind of do whatever I want on it. I know I say in my outro that I do whatever I want on this channel, and I do to some extent, but this gives me even more freedom and flexibility to do whatever I want, to talk about whatever I want. And I really love that. So I think there were a lot of pluses reading wise and channel wise and just content wise and all that fun stuff. And some of the personal things are getting fixed as we speak. I think most notably is the fact that I hurt my back, and that is getting better. I'm just trying to get enough strength to be able to do my job. So we're working on that. Plans are in place, actions are being taken, we're doing everything we're supposed to do. So I'm comfortable with where I am on that for now. But anyway, let's take a sip of tea and let's get into goal specific stuff for 2025. I have one of my handy dandy notebooks, and we're just gonna talk through this list that I made. So the first thing on my list is to continue to have really focused reading. That was one of the big things I did for 2024, is to try to cut out a lot of the noise and try not to read just everything that somebody recommends or get distracted by the new hottest book or a trend or whatever. Just really, dust motes or dog hair, just really focus on the things I really want to read. So I'm going to continue with that in 2025. So it's still limiting buddy reads and being very specific and intentional with those. Not focusing on the numbers as much. One of the things that I wanted to do in 2024 was read less, and I still read a lot, but I have read less than I normally do because I'm trying to be more intentional with my reading. And I just want to stay in tune with my mood. If I just want to read a whole bunch of silly mysteries or something, I'm going to do that. Or if I want to go into a deep dive into some heavier literary fiction, I can do that as well. And just really remember that I'm in charge of this, even though I make content, even though I talk about stuff online, even though I have all these friends in this space. It's my reading, so I can do what I want there. The next thing I kind of want to try to focus on in 2025 is doing more literature, book related field trips and not just going to bookstores. there will be bookstores, visiting author homes or like literature related sites or something, and seeing some more of my book friends. The trip to Boston that I took was wonderful, and I'd like to do more of that. I have my annual trip with Naomi, which we have to plan for when I can lift things again and all that. But like, I just want to see more of my friends and just do more like book related stuff. So if you have any good ideas on more book related stuff, let me know down below, because I'm all ears on book related stuff. Definitely the Mount in Lenox, Massachusetts on that list. As I was trying to say before the dog so rudely interrupted me, I will definitely be going to see the Mount in Lenox, Massachusetts this year. It is perfect for my Edith Wharton year of reading, and I need to do it. So that's going to happen. It was on my list for this past year, and I just didn't get there. And I guess that just means I have to do it in 2025. But yeah, if you have other things, let me know. This is going to take a really long time to really film a very short video because of the children. So the next thing on this list is being more ruthless with my unhauls. I need to be more intentional and go through more frequently my shelves and just next on this list is that I need to be more ruthless with my unhauls. I need to make sure that I go through my shelves pretty frequently throughout the year and just unhaul anything that I don't want to keep. And this ties into something else that I have on this list, a couple other things. I know that I could also add like, don't buy any more books, but we all know I'm going to buy books. We all know I'm going to be sent books. Books are going to show up. So I need to be better about like cycling them in and out of my life because it's getting a little overwhelming in the house. 4 is, of course, to continue with YouTube as my main platform and Substack as my other main platform, and to hopefully keep growing on both. I saw a pretty big spike when I announced my year with Edith Wharton over on Substack, and I'm hoping that I will lead you all well and it will go well, and some more people will join us for the journey because it is more fun when we can all talk about it. Yeah, I'm really excited for my year with Edith Wharton. I think it's going to be, I'm going to enjoy it, and I hope you guys will enjoy doing this with me, and I can't wait to hear your insights and thoughts and all of that. And I'm really glad to have Substack to be able to engage more with you all as an audience, and engage with different audiences, because there's people over there that don't come over to BookTube. So very excited about that. Definitely continuing with these and hopefully growing both platforms. Not book related, but I do want to watch more movies and like adaptations and things. I watched about 15 movies this year. I did track them. That's pretty good for me. I usually don't watch anything, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, most recently we went to see Nosferatu, and I absolutely adored it, and I need to do that more. Not a lot. I don't know if I can do a lot of movie watching. Like, this isn't going to turn into like a movie channel, but I want to take in different kinds of stories and remember that I do enjoy cinema. So I don't know what more looks like, but just intentionally adding in some more films to the things that I consume. And I'll probably talk about those over on my Substack if I feel like talking about them. So that's a great place to subscribe if you're not subscribed. If I said that enough, yeah, okay. I think this is like the 6th thing on this list. I don't know, I've stopped so many times for the dogs. I want to continue with my book journal, of course. I talked about it before. I do want to make some changes to how I'm doing my book journal because I found it hard to kind of keep up with. I was not doing like a truly aesthetic anything, but I had like little things that were aesthetic. I had a little date stamp, and I had different highlighters for like if I was currently reading the book or if I was done with the book. And I think I'm going to ditch some of that. And I'm going to ditch like I was doing like a vocab word as well. And I think I'm going to ditch that too, because it was just putting too much pressure on something that I don't want to have pressure on. I just want it to be a place where I go and just write my thoughts as I'm reading. It's not formal. Like in here, in these journals, these are like books that I'm preparing a review for. So I will have like research notes and kind of like put stuff together in a much more structured way in these. But I want my book journal to be like everything I read, just thoughts, maybe little rabbit holes that I go down, just being my own little space, private space. And that will probably feed into other stuff, but as a way to actively be reading, which is what I was doing last year. But I need to take away some of the more aesthetic parts of it and just go bare bones, just this is a book I'm reading thoughts, and that's it. And maybe I just handwrite a date. Like, I don't know why I needed to try to be so aesthetic last year, but that ended up putting barriers to me doing it. So by the end of the year, I was like, I don't want to do it. Anyway, 7 is to do more personal research projects into authors and like other topics of interest, and maybe do some collabs with some other people. I obviously have the year with Edith Wharton that I'm doing. I have this video idea that I've been bouncing around about biography of Sonora Babb and looking at some of her books and just doing more of those projects that are a little bigger, that take a little bit more time, but sprinkling those in throughout the year because I enjoy it. I have a notebook like this. It's dedicated just to like singularly researching an author that I enjoy. And I want to keep filling that out and keep working through that. And I think I'm done with Sonora Babb, so I'll probably start my like Edith Wharton section or something. And I kind of just want to have more, almost like an academic area of my content and my research and just the things that I'm interested in. So that's something I'm going to focus on for next year. Speaking of like my notebooks and everything, I have a little commonplace notebook with all of the quotes and stuff that I like, and I want to keep going with that. Sometimes I forget it exists. I need to remember that I should go through all of my highlights and tabs and just pick a few key things and put them in there. It's not really well organized. It's not a perfect commonplace book, but it works for me. And my thought process is, as these things grow, they can replace some of my screen time, like going through and looking at things that I loved, finding inspiration, learning, adding to things that I'm learning, you know, like the research aspects of it, or revisiting books that I loved and pulling out quotes that I loved, just things to get me off my phone, because I'm definitely spend too much time on my phone. So yeah, continue with my commonplace book. So back to books, like buying and stuff. I would love to do a no buy year, but we all know that's not happening. I've tried that a couple times. I fail miserably. It's never going to happen. It's absolutely never going to happen. But to circle back to the unhauling, I want to add an element, like a content element, and like an interactive element that'll help me. And that is, I have this giant spreadsheet of most of the books that I own. I sort of stalled out getting all of my nonfiction books in there. And there's a few like manga and like romance books or whatever that maybe aren't on there, but it's the majority of the books I own. I kind of want to start doing maybe like once a month, if that works, or once every couple months, once a quarter, I don't know, doing a video idea that will help me with this. So the idea is I would ask you guys to pick a number between like 1 and whatever the current number is on my spreadsheet, which is embarrassing. If you know the number, I guess if we do this, you'll find out. And then using like a random number generator to pick one of your numbers at random to find a book, just a book off my shelves, and read it. Even if it's just a 1 chapter thing and I have to unhaul it if I'm not into it, or read the dang thing and give it a shot and maybe make that a reading vlog. That's like, you guys chose this book off of my shelves. Do I like it? Am I keeping it? Because I want to keep reading the things off my shelves. I get distracted with new and shiny objects all the time. And it would be nice to have like a thing I can go to like recenter me on my shelves and try out some of the books that could be truly wonderful that are just sitting on my shelves being neglected because Sally Rooney decides to write a new book. So let me know what you think about that as an idea. Would it be fun to kind of help me randomly pick a book off my shelves to read and watch me either love it or suffer through it in a video? So let me know about that in the comments. And then I could always do like a read a chapter challenge. I have stacks of books that like I've gotten in book boxes and other things that I don't know if I'm interested in, and maybe they're good. Sometimes those things are phenomenal and a lot of times they're not, but just cycling some of those stuff out of the house is the idea. But those are kind of my focuses for the year. I have other more personal things, obviously, that you guys don't need to know about, but yeah, I wonder what you're focusing on in terms of reading for 2025. Is there like an author you want to read or a genre you want to try to get into? Are you doing like a fun, like reading around the world challenge? Is there a big book you're going to dive into and try to complete in 2025? Let me know. I love to hear what everybody else is doing. There's a book that I kind of want to read. That's quite big, and it might be my Lies and Sorcery of 2025. I don't know, but I'm going to think about it, and maybe I'll start it in January. But anyway, I have so much stuff to get done in the lead up to the new year. I've got my last sit rep, my last newsletter, drafted. I've got to finish it so it can go out, my last one of the year. I've got to make sure it sounds like English. I need to finish my introductory post for the House of Mirth, which we're starting on January 1st. I have so many videos to film and edit. I have my 24 favorites from 24 for fiction. I have my top 10 nonfiction for you and some of my most read authors from 2024 to go through with you as well. So those are all videos that are kind of going to be glutting up and coming out through the beginning of the year. My Persuasion review will be out soon. Yeah, I have a lot. I have a lot on my docket, and I don't know how I'm going to get to it all now that I'm down to only 2 days off a week, but we will figure it out somehow. Anyway, it's a lot of rambling. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for sticking by me for all the time I've been on BookTube. Thank you for everybody who's new and joined, and anybody who sees this and decides to hop in and join this little corner of my little corner of the internet. I mean, thank you. If you join me for Edith Wharton, my year with Edith Wharton, definitely thank you. I think we're gonna have a good time. I'm seeing some of you have picked up copies of Age of Innocence. Some of you are excited to hop in for Ethan Frome. I'm totally psyched for this project. Yeah, it's the year where I eat, breathe, sleep Edith Wharton. So the dogs are finally settled, of course, as I'm wrapping up the video. Now I'm gonna get them all excited and take them for a walk. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next year, which will probably be like tomorrow. And yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video, whatever it might be, because it's my channel and I can do whatever I want. Bye, and Happy New Year.